Alright, welcome back guys. So in the last video we did a markup and the style for our new year countdown interface. Now I want to write the JavaScript code that will actually power this and make it, just act like a normal countdown, basically counting in seconds, in minutes, in hours, and in days. Okay, so to do that, let's create of course, we already have a JavaScript file, so all we just need to do is to link it to our HTML, and then we just come down to the last element just before the bottom, and then we add the script tag and the source attribute is going to be index.js. And then to confirm that it is actually connected, we're going to go to the console and let's get rid of all that, and then we do console.log, so clg, and then we say connected, and then we save it. If we get connected, yep, it says connected, so we know we are connected our JavaScript to our HTML file thanks to the script tag here. Okay, so a couple of things we want to do. Let's think about how we want to achieve this, approach this. We have this guy here with an ID. So each of these has a unique ID. So this one is days, this one is hours, this one is minutes, and this one is seconds. So what we are going to do is to first of all, let's get the days. So now we'll have a very big function here, so we'll say function, and then we call it update countdown, and update countdown is going to do just that. First of all, it's going to let's get the current date, so we'll say const noun, and then we say new dates, okay, this will give us the current date, so we'll say const target dates, and that gives us new date also, but this time around we're gonna pass the date, which is gonna be 2024 12 or 31st, and then we have T, and we have 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. This basically will count down to the last second of the current year 2024, and then let me see, yeah, it will basically count down to the last second of the current year and down to the first down to the first of the new year. Okay, so now we want to get the difference between the two, so we'll say const diff, and then we'll say target date minus noun. Okay, so this is going to give us the difference, the time from now till the target date. It's going to give it to us, but it's going to give it to us in milliseconds. Okay, so if we log diff to the console, so console.log, and then we put diff there, let's see what it gives us. Of course, let's call the function. So we say update. So we say update countdown, and look at it. Gives us the time from the current date to the target date, gives it to us in milliseconds. So what we want to do is to basically get this time, get it in down to the last second. So the way to do that, if we want to get it in days, so what we can do is we say const days, and then we say diff divided by, first of all, we get it to seconds by dividing by 1000, and then we get it to minutes by dividing by 60, then we get it to hour by dividing by another 60, then we get it in days by dividing by 24. So this gives us the time in days. Now if we do clg days, and we call this the countdown, so it gives us in 10 days, 10.6 basically. Okay, so this is in days. Now, but what we want is just we want the whole number that it gives us. Basically, we want the whole number part, and the way we can do that is to get, because what we are looking at, okay, let's do something else. So let's get it in hours. So let's say const hours. So we are going to do the same thing, but this time around we convert up to hours. So let's remove 24. Now if we log days and hours to the console, so in days it gives us 10 days, in hours it gives us 256 hours. Now what we want to do is to get the number of hours, not the number of hours from the current date to the target date, but the number of hours as a fraction of the number of days left. I hope that makes sense. So if we have 10 days, for instance, so this is 10.6 days, which means 10 days and some hours. So what we can do, this one, we can do, just put this inside a math.floor, and that. Now we need to get the modulus of 24 here, so we'll do this one, and then we'll do modulus 24. Basically we want to get the number of hours left after we divide by 24. So basically to give that's what this modulus will do. So it will give us, for instance, 10 days and maybe 12 hours. So that's what we want to get. We are not necessarily looking for the number of hours to the date. We are looking for the number of hours in addition to the number of days. So that's why we are using modulus. I hope that makes sense. So if we log this out again now, okay, hours, yeah, so we have 10 and 16. So one thing we need to do is, you can see 10 is a whole number because we are using math.floor, but ours is still fraction because we have this, we need to put it in math.floor also. So math.floor, and then we put this. Okay, so 10 hours, 10 days, 16 hours. So we do the same thing for minutes and seconds. So for minutes and For minutes, we are going to do, we just convert up until minutes, and then we do modulus 60. Okay, so that will give us the number of minutes left. So we have 10 days plus this hours, we have plus this minute, and then this is going to be seconds. Actually, seconds. So this is just going to be divided by 1000, and this is going to be modulus 60, I guess. Okay. So let's also add that. So we have the mains and sec. Okay. Why does it say 0 minute though? Okay. Let's see. My dot floor. I don't really have. Okay, it's actually the minute. Why does it say 0 minutes? Divided by 60 modulus 60. Oh, hours 1000 multiplied by 60. Okay. Yeah, it's actually correct. Okay, so what we want to do is to make it thick. So we want to make it thick, and the way to do that is to have a time interval. So we'll do put it inside. So we'll say const timer, and then we'll put it at set interval. So set interval is going to take the function, and this function is going to run every second, which is 1000 milliseconds. Okay, and then okay, so let me see. Okay, update count down. So yep, so it's counting. So you can see it's reducing by the second. 1 0 59 58. So basically the countdown is working. So all we just need to do now, this is happening because of this set time interval. So basically we are saying call this function every 1 second, and the reason that we want that to be is because we want this second to be updating in real time. So basically it's going to be updating the DOM every second with the value of this, because this time is changing, right? The difference between the target date and the current date is currently changing and getting closer. So there's going to come a time when the difference is going to be 0, and that is when it hits this time. And we don't want our counter to keep on running even when it is 0. So what we want to do, we want to put a check. So I want to put a check and say if diff is less than or equal to 0, what do we want to do? We want to basically instead of having this guy here, actually let's stop that. So instead of having all of this, or you know what, we'll come back to this. So now is the time for us to actually put this guy inside our DOM and let it do its work. So first of all, we need to grab this span that is supposed to hold the time for number of days left instead of just putting 00 here. We're going to use DOM and put the actual value, which is days. So we're going to say document dot get. Actually, let's do document dot query selector, and we are querying for the element with an ID of days. So because it's ID, we're gonna pass this and say days. Now what do we want to do with this? We want to update the text contents. So the text contents, we want it to be days, just like this. And cool, it shows 10 days. So let's do the same for hours. Just copy this a couple of times. So the next one is ID of hours. Put it here. The text content should be hours. Basically, this the value of this. We'll save that. This one. What did we call the ID again? We said minutes. Put that here, and then I say mins. And finally, this guy is seconds, and that's what I called it. And then I say sec, and hopefully everything should work, and it does. So we have a countdown is counting down to the last second. So we have 10 days, 15 hours, 54 minutes and 25 seconds to New Year. Cool. So guys, our countdown is working. There's one more thing we want to do, because if this continues counting like I said, there's going to get a time where this is going to be negative, and we don't want any value here to read negative. So what we can do is to make sure that the countdown stops the moment this is 0 or less. So we'll have an if statement here that checks if diff is less than or equal to 0. Then if it is, now the whole of this countdown to New Year, and then we have this countdown, this place that is counting down. The div is this guy, countdown. So what we want to do is to put a different thing inside this place. So we'll say document dot query selector, and we are selecting by the class of countdown. And then what we want to do is to dynamically add a different thing. So we want to do dot inner HTML. So we want to put inner HTML here, and what we want to put is an H2. Okay, so H2, and then we close it, H2, and then we'll just say welcome to another year. And then we need to remove hold on, we need to clear the time interval. So we'll say clear interval, and then we put timer, and then we return. So return basically terminates the function here. So it just ends the function, and that's it. It clears the timer, it doesn't count anymore. And that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, yep. So our countdown is working, and it's working exactly the way we want it to. So watch it count down to the last second, and you'll see the minutes change. So we'll just wait until it counts down to the last second. Okay, so let me know what you think in the comment section. If there are ways you can improve this, or you have any questions, please go ahead and drop it in the comment section. I'll appreciate that. Okay, so 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 0 second. Cool. And it updates the minute. Now once the minute counts down to 0, it updates the hour, reduces it by 1. And once this counts to 0, it updates the days, reduces it by 1, and the cycle continues until everything is 0. And at that point, of course, the countdown stops, and then you see welcome to another year because of this. Okay, so guys, I will see you in another video.